Hello everyone, this is Mrs Mabasa and I'm joined by my beautiful wife, Pula.
Thank you so much, and thank you Malamulele Interyouth for inviting us. Thank you so much.
Great, so we're just here to have fun, right? So you guys asked us to talk about dating and relationship, particularly as young people. So a brief background on our lives or our relationship. We dated for about 2 years. We're in a courtship for 2 years actually, and we are now married for 5 years, and we're blessed with twin boys. They're just now 4.5 months, so we're grateful to God for that. So we'll just be touching on a few things regarding or with regards to relationships and dating young. Remember, as young people, sometimes we find ourselves dating and sometimes we make mistakes. So we'll be sharing from some lessons from things that we've learned or experiences that we've been through, and also by observation in other people's relationships. So yeah, let's get straight into it.
Thank you. I think let me just build on what you were saying about mistakes that we usually make as young people when it comes to dating. Or let me rather say a misconception that we have as young people. So usually when you have come to that point where you feel you are ready to be in a relationship, we tend to think it is about now I need to go out and look for a perfect partner or a suitable partner, whereas that is totally wrong. It is a wrong foundation altogether, because even when you feel the time has come for you to meet someone or to be in a relationship, the focus should not be on I'm looking for a tall, dark and handsome partner. We don't even know who came up with that criteria. I mean, what was going to happen to guys that are not tall? You know, I've got my dark and handsome, but it's not tall. So maybe it's also a good thing to consider that instead of just going with what everyone says is the right thing, maybe it's about time we have our own criteria, you know. So, but anyway, like I was still saying, the foundation of it should not be about I need to go out and look for someone who is perfect for me or suitable for me, but the focus should be on yourself. So it should start with you investing much in self-discovery, because you cannot be able to accommodate another person with their mistakes, with their flaws, with their imperfections if you have not dealt with yourself first. So more than anything, you need to take time to discover yourself. And when we talk about discovering yourself, we're talking about discovering who you are, and getting to know who you are also means you must know who you are not. So it also makes it easy now when you sit down and say, okay, I think I'm ready to be in a relationship, because usually we say I'm looking for someone who will love me for who I am. But how will you know this person is loving you right if you don't even know who you are? So this person can be doing all the right things, but it is you who don't know who you are. So even if they do it right, to you it is foreign, you know. So I think that is where we need to start.
Great. I mean, as you're talking about it, it also reminds me that, you know, in terms of relationships, we don't really get a lot of biblical reference in terms of how we're supposed to run it, but at the same time we expected to run our relationships in a godly way. And anyways, we also see biblically that God has created us also for companionship, so it's quite important. Maybe let's touch a bit on purpose and intentions and principles in relationships.
So I think those are the two main elements in the beginning of any relationship. So when you have prepared yourself, also believing, isn't it, we are talking about godly relationships here. So we believe that as I prepare myself and as I'm desiring to be in a relationship or to meet someone that I can eventually settle with, we believe that God is also preparing a partner for us. I mean, we always make this example to say, I grew up in Giyani, I grew up in Malamulele, just 38 kilometers apart, but we never met. Only years later, but still we did not meet back at home, you know. So, but it was not a surprise to God. He knew all along that eventually He's going to bring us together. So we believe that as we take time to prepare ourselves, God is also preparing a suitable companion for us, you know. So I think by the time you then meet this person whom we can say is a suitable companion or a perfect partner for you, then from the beginning there should be direction of the relationship, and that is where now the two things come. intention number one, and also purpose. So first of all, you need to ask yourself, why am I in this relationship? Where am I going with this person? What is the purpose of this relationship? Because everything has a purpose. As much as an individual, there is a purpose that you were born to come and fulfill. So even as a relationship, every relationship has a purpose. Every marriage has a purpose, so that is, it should be right from the beginning. I remember with us, when we met, he proposed on a Sunday, by the way. I don't know what he was thinking about sitting at that church service that day. I always ask him what were they preaching about, and to this day he has not told me. Clearly this guy was not listening. There was no planning how he was gonna propose.
It was a burden in my heart.
On a Sunday, I'm telling you. So I remember with us, when we started our relationship, it did not take long. I think in the very first week, we then went to submit our relationship to our pastors. From there, it was meeting parents. So we knew the direction from the beginning. So it's not something that you try and then you say we'll see where it takes us. But from the beginning, there is direction.
That's why I think, as you're saying that, Proverbs 11:24, it says, where there's lack of counsel, people fail, and where there's multitude of counselors, there is success, or people do the right things. So that's why it's important, as young as you are, you should be able to present your relationship to someone, or someone you account to. Is it your mentor, your pastor? So that is also, it also answers the question, when do you know it's the right time to do it? Because if you cannot present your relationship to someone to say, I'm accounting to you, I'm in a relationship, then maybe it's not the right time, because it means there's something wrong. The relationship is founded on wrong things. So I think that's one of the most important things to do, because when you're accountable, it will also help you in terms of setting boundaries in a lot of things. You won't be doing the wrong things that are forbidden as a young person in a relationship. So it's quite important, and I like that, because we tend to make a lot of mistakes, and I think it's through platforms like this where we're able to learn on how best can we run our relationships in a godly way. And also that brings me to the issue of some of the disadvantages of dating young. We're not saying that you should not date young, but it's also important to be careful about certain things, because when you're dating young, sometimes relationships are a commitment. So you're giving yourself to this person. I mean, if you're still in high school, you're expected to focus on your studies, on issues that are more important to you at that particular time. So your attention is divided, because relationships, they take a lot of your time, a lot of your energy. Emotionally, it's quite taxing. So those are some of the things. So you find yourself being under immense pressure because you are not able to handle it at that particular time. So those are some of the things I think we were here to share with you, just to think about. We don't have all the right answers. Nobody actually has the answers, but things that you should be careful about. I mean, the Bible says, how can two people walk together unless they're in agreement? So you cannot be in a relationship with someone who you do not share the same beliefs, the same principles. So if you're born again, you cannot be in a relationship with someone who is not born again. So those are some of the things I believe we have to look out for as we are preparing ourselves for relationships. So I think that's all. Thank you so much. I believe you've been blessed. Continue to learn. We also appreciate you for inviting us, and also the different men of God who have been on this platform before, and also in the next 2 weeks those will be joining you. Have a blessed time. Thank you.